Alrighty, guys, we're back, and today we have. I didn't expect to do this so soon, honestly, but they've been spitting out a lot. And then realistically, it's 2 months away, so I guess we're getting these. It's spoiler season; it's starting a lot earlier. I don't know when, but make sure to keep an eye out on Happy Little Hug Factory. I'll let you know when they have the Opus 10 pre-release pre-orders available too. So make sure you guys can get those and help out whenever you can. But now. There's already a lot of Opus 10 spoilers, and they are pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I'm actually super excited that there is so many of them. And honestly, for me, the most important part is that all the water legendaries have come out already, and that's something we don't normally get. Like, I always have to... Lightning always gets gypped, I feel like they always had the lightning stuff till last, and you'll see that right now we only have one lightning card, but whatever. Let's get into it. And we already have, like, the full art... the box topper and the promo topper. So we have the promo topper for the pre-release is going to be the new Titus. 4-drop AK forward, category 10 forward. Other than Titus you control gains 1,000 power. When Titus enters the field, you may return one backup you control to its owner's hand. When you do so, choose one forward, return it to its owner's hand. So I don't know why I would do this, but it's... I guess to replay stuff, right, and kind of make space in the back row. But I didn't like doing this with the last Titus that we got a little while back, which I think was a better rank, right? Because he could pick any character and just put it back to my hand. Let me play my Laylas again, let me play my backups again, or whatever, or let me, make a space in my backups. And I did play with him for a little bit, but I don't know if this one's gonna make me want to do that. And then as quick hit, activate Titus. Titus gains 2,000 power until the end of the turn. So it's a low value S, and he is a hero too. He's whatever, man. Like, I don't think he's that important, really. I guess the good buff for all 10s is going to be interesting in title. I feel like this is a straight title card. But I don't know. We'll figure that out as we go. But we do have the legendaries, Ashe and Folka. Ashe is insane, honestly, and Water has something that's going to be... It's going to make a lot more things difficult for everyone else, really. So at the beginning of your attack phase, just like Wool, during each of your turns, select up to 2 of the following actions, just like Wool. Draw a card and then discard one from your hand. Super good for Fusoya. All forwards you control gain 1,000 power until the end of the turn. I might not need to play Walk anymore. Choose one character, activate it. That could be anything, forward, backup, anything, monster. Choose a forward of cost 4 or less. It loses all its abilities until the end of the turn. I don't need to worry about Ishtola anymore. So these are all the things that Water has when to think about now. And I can play Wrestler now and this card, and it's gonna feel so good. Because we do like the old Ashe a lot, but the old Ashe I feel like doesn't provide too much value other than against dice anymore. But this one will. This one's going to provide value all game, so I'm definitely... First of all, this card is going to be super expensive. I do predict that this one might be the next expensive card, Wool card. So if you have them, if you don't play Water, sell them quick before they get undervalued. Sell them at their peak, I would say. Folka is another one. Soren of 6, Palladia. I'm glad FFBE is getting more cards. I didn't expect to see her, though. I guess I don't actually know all the FFBE story anymore. I kind of haven't played it in a long time. So she has 3 effects. Discard a water summon. They all start like that. Folka cannot be chosen by your opponent's summons or abilities. Choose a forward and one backup. Activate them. Choose one forward of cost 4 or less opponent controls. Return it to its owner's hand. Okay. Now... in order for this card to be good, right? She's 3/7 on curve, awesome. Same thing with Ashe, 4/8 on curve, awesome. But in order for Folka to be on curve and be important, I'd have to play a lot of summons that I don't know I would use for these effects, right? So let's think about it. There was a point in Water meta that people played triple sirens, right? And so what are the summons we play now? Famfrits, we play Cooch, the new Cooch to some extent, and Bismarcks. people don't play Leviathans anymore. That not the old Leviathan, but they do play that the newest. I think it was Opus 8, three drop Leviathan. And so for me, this card is going to be good early game when I have those summons that I'm not going to need right away. It kind of gives me outs. But it also turns our summons that are like, so I made a big point about playing the other Kuchu lanes before. The 4-drop over the 3-drop new Leviathan that reduces per water card. But what's going to be cool is that this card turns all those summons that might not be useful at the time into effects that might be useful currently. So against ice, I can discard stuff to activate things, which is great. Against, I don't know, lightning, I guess I don't have to be chosen. So it kind of helps me turn like something dead in my hand into something else. Normally, because a lot of Water's things are like, I guess, I don't want to say completely battle trick, but I set them up for scenarios, right? Like I play Layla Viking, then I'm open to Famfrits. I play, I let my opponent do stuff, and then I can reduce them. Or I build up a board, and then I can reduce them, right? But what if I'm behind with some of this reduction, or they're not in the right situation? I can turn those into something else. Also, now we always have something like a Leviathan access to us. So again, it turns all of our summons into extra things, as well as turning every summon into a potential Leviathan, like the old Leviathan, right? Send something back. I know it's only 4 or more, but that's still good, right? So like being able to play this, yeah, I'm going to need to play more summons, but we already have stuff that addresses that, right? We can play Porum, the new Porum that everyone plays anyway, and I think they're going to go really well hand in hand now. And then I can even play, there's a 4-drop water backups summoner, I think it is. It just lets you get another summon back. You also have the 2-drop Echo, lets you get summons back. There's a lot of things now that, like, if you think about it now, you put everything together. Water has a lot of things to get summons back. And so being able to recur these things helps, make her extra playable, right? And she has her own protection. Yeah, it's pretty expensive, but, whatever. She's pretty good. We don't know what other cards we're going to see that lets us get more summons and stuff, or like lets us mess with our summon count, search summons. We could play the Ice Terra, the Light Terra lets us search a summon in this deck. We could play Minwoo, lets us drop, reveal 5, get a summon, right? Like there's a lot of things that Water has for this. She might be like deck specific, I think, but she is by far not a bad card. She is actually very interesting. I don't know. Again, we got to see where the meta is at the time, and then that's where she'll decide whether she has a home in it or not. She has a home in a water deck that everyone uses. I think Ash will definitely have a home in water decks. At least 2 of her 2 Rassler be done. You don't even need the Rassler, right? The Rassler might be there, but whatever. These are. So I'm excited to see that we got these already. It's fun for me. We can move on though. These are the random ones we haven't gotten more of. We have Zydo, which I think is a good 2-drop lightning backup. You can tap him, put Zydo into the break zone, choose a forward. It gains first strike, not bad. It's similar to the Lancer, I think it is. And then put Zydo into the break zone, choose a category, typo forward. Until the end of the turn, it gains first strike and haste. It's obviously more beneficial to typo, but it's not bad for a general 2-drop backup. That's not Lancer. I don't know if you want names. It's good, but he's decent. Refia, we've been talking about this. We talked about this one a little bit, my group and I. When Refia enters the field, you may search for a card named Arc, Ingus, Luneth, and 4 or less, and play it on the field. When Refia attacks, choose a forward your opponent controls. If you control 4 more job Warrior of Lights forwards, remove it from the game. It's not bad. I like it a lot. So let's think again. We're gonna go talk about value in this card. What's the best way? And I don't know if this is the best way right now, but just off the top of my head, the first thing that came to me was I can play Materia now. Materia lets me get this turn 1. Turn 2, I play her drop the 4-drop Ingus. Lets me get a standard unit 2-drop or less, right? It lets me play it, so I can effectively maybe play another backup. And so that's good, right? That's 2 8Ks for 5, and I have backups now. So that's an optimal turn. Obviously, our hands, only in Only when we play casuals do our hands look like that. But it's still not bad. But there is a lot of Warrior of Light stuff already. I think this is going to go well in it. I do think it might be more light oriented now. Like, because think about it, we have to play the Wool that reveals. We have to play. We don't have to play the Warrior of Light that reduces damage, but it's always nice. So playing Materia and playing Cosmos might be more important. So playing both of them might actually be how that deck works now. But it's going to be complicated, like adjusting backups to that, because that already takes up 2 out of the 5 slots. But it is a good card. It is the light legendary, which I haven't mentioned yet, but it is good. I think this one will bring Warriors of Light back into the light. And then we have this 3-drop Atlas, and I guess this isn't the first time we see it, and I'll talk about it in a sec. It's that, but now there's a new. It's not a mechanic. It's just a new way for them to condense text, which is cool. It's almost like an ability, right? That it has to trigger, and this is how it triggers. When you're at 2 damage, Atlas gains 1,000 power, and at 5 damage, Atlas gains plus 2,000 power. So there it is. See, the thing is now, are these these are now enter the field abilities, right? And I think, for example, Atlas might gain both if you're at 5. But that's something I'm going to confer with everyone later. But yeah, you'll see it in another card coming up, the Box Topper Squall. But that's just another 3-drop forward Colossus 13. Yeah. Maybe there's a deck that it'll fit in. And now we have the Winds stuff, which are cool. And 2 of them are Sky Pirates. One of them is Echo. You remember. If you control a drop Sky Pirate forward other than Philo, Philo gains 1,000 power and haste. So it's a 2-drop forward and haste. And there's a lot of good Sky Pirates out. Van was one of them, the one from the newest Wraith and Night deck. If you haven't seen my video on that, it's on my page, it's on my channel. You can go check it out. I talk about those cards. It's not bad. I think Sky Pirates might be their turn to be out for a while for Wind. So I think that's going to be fun. This is a good 2-drop that fits in that as well. When Echo 3-drop backup, when Echo enters the field, you may search for 1 card Mobius forward and add it to your hand. There's not a lot of Mobius forwards yet, but I'm glad Mobius has a searcher now, other than Mog Mobius that just lets you search any forward. But this is cool. It's not EX, but it's off the top of our heads, just if you guys can't think of them, it's the new Fusoya, Cloud of Darkness, Wool, and I think Maya are the most important ones right now that are forwards. If I'm missing one, it's probably because they're so little, and I can't remember them all. But those are still 4 good cards that are excellent. I wonder if this will go. I'm always looking for cards that help expand on off colors that we don't see, like Ice Wind or Ice or Wind Lightning, Fire Earth, Fire Lightning, and stuff like that. So I think this might help Wind Lightning if Wind Lightning plays the new Fusoya and the Maya. So that's cool. That might also help that like the Cypher, Rage and Fusion, the Disciplinary Committee, the deck. If you're searching for, it gives you another way to search for a Witch and another way to search for Fusoya, which is cool. Also, the other Mobius is Chaos, right? The Opus one, the Fire, lets you. So in that one, it's Fire, Ice, Lightning. So maybe not applicable too much here, but it's still a searcher target. And Kites, 1-drop forward. When a card named Van enters the field, you may pay 2. When you do play Kites onto the field, this effect will trigger only if Kites is in the break zone. So now they have their own Ghost, which is cool. Put Kite into the break zone, chooses drop Sky Pirate, it gains 3,000 power until the end of the turn. So that's not bad. Like he comes out and then he can pitch himself whenever he wants, which is cool. So if people target him or remove him, he can make use of himself as always, because he is 1-drop, so he is cool. I like him a lot. Again, more Sky Pirate stuff. I haven't finished 12, so I don't know where they're coming from, but I'm interested to see where they are. Oh, and something I haven't been mentioning either, the character illustrations on these. So the Echo is definitely one of the new cards. Like you guys can usually spot them, I think. But remember, it says character illustration at the bottom, that's usually new art for these. Like the Refia was new art, that the Echo's new art, and no, the rest are just like images. But you know, always the best part of this game. We're still getting original art for it. Now we're on to the ice stuff. Now we have a new Sarah 3-drop, forward 7k. You can tap her to put Mog 13-2 into the break zone, choose up to 2 forwards and dole them, or you can ice tap her and choose card name Mog 2, put it in your break zone, and play it onto the in your break zone. Choose one in your break zone and play it onto the field. So that's not bad. Lets you keep recurring it. There's a lot of good stuff there. I think she might replace the other Sarah, the one that we always play, because we don't play the legendary ever. She's really good actually. So this card is going to be, and she's only a rare. That card's going to be really strong and annoying to deal with. Every other turn you'll be able to get Orphan, her, Sid Reigns, and other 13 stuff. So maybe a 13 deck might be more playable now because you can recur the Searcher over and over again. So that's interesting. Ice Lightning's another one of those colors that we don't see a lot. So, and now the box topper Squalager. Sorry for the blurry images. I guess I couldn't find a really nice detailed one. So it's gonna look like that. But he is the box topper, which I'm happy for. At least I don't have to. I won't have to trade for him. So, and he's full art, so that's fun. When Squall enters the field, select a character, and if your opponent has 2 or fewer cards, dole the card. So it's not bad. At 2 damage, when Squall enters the field, select a character. This dole it and freeze it. And then at 5 damage, when Squall enters the field, choose a forward. If this forward is dole, inflict 8k damage to it. Yeah, so that's kind of, I'm pretty sure, like, he's gonna see play. I don't know. See, the problem is we just got that last Squall, right? So now this guy's gonna play in a deck where he stands alone and he does things. He might not be in the, like, I don't know if we'll play him over the other one if we're playing like the 8 package, and if we're playing, I don't know what we would have to play for this one to stick out at the moment, but maybe Fire Ice, because Fire Ice does a lot of stuff like that. So it also gives him damage, and it gives him the actions to dole stuff, and, you know, remove things from, like, get things out of the way from in front of you. So that's he's not bad. He might, again, it might not be the 8 deck that he fits in, but it might be an Ice or an Ice Fire deck that he fits in. Maybe just another offsuit Ice Lightning deck. And then we have the Eldnarsh, Descendant of Zillert, category 11. If you control a card named Camelot, the cost for playing Eldnarsh onto the field is reduced by 2, making him a 3-drop. 3-drop 9k is good. Eldnarsh enters the field, choose one character your opponent controls, dole it. At 5 damage, when Eldnarsh enters the field, choose up to 3 characters your opponent controls, dole them. That's good. He's another closer. People play Camelot a lot right now. He might fit in that deck. He might fit in an Ice deck where you just play Empire, Sid, Chaos, and like a Dark Ice deck, which might be not bad because you can play him now. He's gonna be good or better anyway, because you can Empire Sid and then break the Sid to drop the Cam to search another Sid, and then now this guy's 3-drop on your same turn. And then he does a bunch of stuff. So he's not a bad card. I think he's going to be one of the full arts, if I remember. I could be wrong. Yeah, full art. Him full art. That Echo and the Refio we saw already will be full arts. Excuse me. But yeah, not bad for the Ice cards. Good start too. And now the Fire cards. I left them for last, so you guys could probably stop watching right now. No, I'm just kidding. Soldier 3rd class, another 7 standard unit, which is interesting. First strike, when Soldier 3rd class enters the field, you may search for a card named Soldier 3rd class and add it to your hand. So kind of like the SciComm Wardens, but except they don't buff each other. They have first strike, but that's not enough. What's cool though is that you will be able to search them, play them. If you do decide to play this, right? You play them all, and then you drop them, and then now you're swinging 10k, two 10ks with first strike, and that's gonna be good. That's the best thing I can think of for them. I guess they're a 7 name, which is also important for a deck. So 7 is playable now, so maybe you'll throw him in there. We have a new LAN. Mirage Keeper, if you control card named Rain, land gets 2,000 power on first strike. Sounds good. And when land enters the field, choose a monster that is also a forward. Until the end of the turn, it gains 5,000 power, and Brave. What's cool about this now is that now we have these new monsters from Opus 9 that are also forwards on your turn. They automatically become forwards on your turn. So I'm not saying that you'll play them all with this, but you know, making the Malboro that is also a forward on your turn, plus the Goblin, a 5k with 5k in Brave on sometimes. It's pretty good, right? Like letting them go through. Like let's say you have goblins. Let's say you put a goblin out and you need to hit it in the face, like hit them in the face, so you get like your ability to draw 2 cards. Being able to play this land, give it 2k, and then it does its thing, or you take a forward with you, right? Like something that's not bad, that's good. It's gonna be something that you'll think about. Maybe we get more monsters that become forwards this set. It also applies to the WAF monsters that we had, like the Frit, Shiv, and whatever the last one was, the Rama one. It's not bad. It's 2 drops, so it's pretty good. It might be a cheap deck. Like it might be a Zoo Swarm kind of thing going on there, because the Rain searches him, and then we can play all the cheap 2-drop stuff and get a lot of value there. But he's not a bad card. He's a rare only as well, and I believe he's the other full art that we have revealed. Yeah, he's gonna be a full art, so cute. It's good art. Also original art, so get excited. And Caius, when Caius enters the field, you may play 1 character of 3 or less from your hand onto the field. When Caius is put from the field into the break zone, select the character you control, put it into the break zone. Alright, so I know it sounds bad, like again another fire card with the same fire curse of having to, like, doesn't just do it for free, right? It has to have a restriction or something like a backdraw to it. But I don't think so much, right? So I don't know if anyone else thought that, but the first time I read this, I'm like, okay, that's cool. 3-drop or less from your hand onto the field. That means I can play, like, this is, for me, this is like sort of like a reduced Layla, right? So if I'm playing Fire Water, which, you know, just recently topped, if I open, I can play 4 of this, I can play 3 of this, 3 Layla, and 3 Viking, triple Brawn, right? I'll open either this and Layla, or, I mean, this or Viking, or Layla Viking, right? I can drop him, pay, and drop the Viking, draw a card, and then if they do remove him, you can just send away the Viking and draw another card, right? So it kind of, that's the first thing I thought. I'm sure there's other ways to do it. So the real thing is that he lets you play a 3-drop, right, from your hand. Any color, which is great, always. If you're playing Fire or Wind, you can drop the Zidane. He's not bad, right? And in decks with multiples, being able to remove it and play it again isn't bad. I don't know if he's definitely not good for just Mono Fire, because Mono Fire already has, like, they need everything. So, but he is going to be good for off-color stuff. Again, I think Fire Water was the first thing I thought of, and probably the best idea I have so far. So yeah, he's gonna. It's not gonna be Layla Viking. It's gonna be Caius Viking. And if they do rotate out Layla eventually, then Caius Viking might be the new thing. Just something to think about, guys. This is all we have so far. I know I got less excited as the colors came on because I started with water, but it's still a lot of good stuff. I'm not going to be doing Opus 10 stuff. I'm going to let the Opus 10 spoilers build up a little bit longer so we can do another one like this. I probably won't talk about Opus 10 stuff until after Nationals. I have a month pretty much to start prepping. Not start prepping, but really get into it. So I'm going to take a lot of that time to do that. Have a few more videos coming out for you soon. Yeah, and thanks for watching, man. Catch you guys later.